Okay, chapter 12, putting it together.
This is my favorite chapter because I'm an organic chemist and I love mechanisms. So.
Okay, cool. Oh, wow.
But
cool.
I won't use that word again.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm going to flip forward in the chapter. I have given more guest lectures on this chapter because it has all this mechanistic looking stuff in there.
Yeah, let's not.
And when you look at it, it's tough.
It is.
It's tough. So I think we can make this actually our quickest video.
Can
Robert,
we? Okay.
in several videos, you've drawn formaldehyde and you've drawn something that represents a protein. Can you do that again?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I can do that.
We're going to get through chapter. This is the crux of the embalming reaction. This is the embalming. If you are in school to be an embalmer, this is the chemistry of embalming. He's got the formaldehyde molecule. You will remember the formaldehyde molecule is polar. Let's draw in some charges. Bam, he's drawing in the charges. You'll also know there's this lone electron pair, which we now understand as being negative. Electrons they're understood to carry a negative charge.
Yes, I understand that. Yes.
Now, it doesn't, you know how I describe chemistry? Oh my gosh, I'm settling back in the chair.
How do you describe chemistry?
Okay, this is, when I start teaching chemistry, this is actually what I say to a class. It's the relationship between things. Like you and I, we have good chemistry. People see us and they're like, wow, you guys have really good chemistry. How are you friends?
Days,
like Damon's cool, and so is Robert, right? That's what people say.
That's so true, too.
It's true.
It is true.
But when you look at, people will say opposites attract. When you look at these two molecules, maybe people can't all see that. Point out to me where the opposite charges are here.
Yeah, so that's a negative charge, and that's the positive charge, so those are opposites.
When you get these two things close to each other, they interact.
They interact.
And they form a bridge.
Correct.
Now, we're not going to get technical about it here right now, but I do have to say this. Who approaches who in this?
Oh, okay, so that's the nucleophile, and that's the electrophile.
Okay, see how we just got technical?
See,
we'll
I
define
like
those. I love those terms.
I like them too.
like
Electrophile is electron lover. And if you think about it, it's positive, so it loves electrons.
It wants
wants
to
electrons.
be balanced.
And that's a nucleophile, and there's no good name for that, just a nucleophile. It wants to give up its electrons.
Well, the nucleus is always considered positive.
Okay, well.
So because the nucleophile, it's negative and it wants to find something positive. Everything wants to be neutral, right?
Okay, that's fair enough.
Fair enough.
So they've got an attraction, an affinity towards each other. So when these things are floating around in the body or in solution, this wants to interact with that. So what you do is you just show it happen. You show it reacting.
Now,
and this is the mechanism word, which I said I wouldn't use anymore. But this mechanism just show you how it's reacting. And we could push electrons around more, but what's ultimately happening is that nitrogen is forming a bond with that carbon. We can show the cover of our book too.
Yeah, it is here. Yeah.
So that is what's happening. This is the carbonyl group, and these are, we don't draw them here, but those are the nitrogens, and we're creating a reaction.
Yeah.
And
that's basically what chapter 12 is. It is aldehyde, formaldehyde, or any aldehyde interacting with a nitrogen. And I think, and it takes a lot, because to really get here, again, review things like electronegativity, things like valence. If you've mastered those things, you'll be very comfortable with the electrons moving.
And understand the functional groups as well as you can, at least the main ones, the nitrogen.
Yeah. And now I do have to say this. I think in common chemistry vernacular, there is some fun words about what happens between the nitrogen, right? The nucleophilic nitrogen, the electrophilic carbon. What happens there? Who does what to who?
I'm not sure where you're getting at, Damon.
Okay. The nitrogen, this is true. I've heard more than one chemist say the nitrogen attacks.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. It attacks the carbon.
That's what they say, right?
That's
literally what they say.
It's vulnerable and attacks, right?
It's vulnerable and it attacks. Okay.
And there's actually, we can get into more words too, but.
Yeah. And I think that's chapter 12.
That is.
In a nutshell, really concise.
So yeah, I know there's a lot in there, and there's a lot of fancy diagrams, but that is essentially what we're just showing how the reactions occur. That's all that's happening in there.
There's a lot in the chapter. There's probably some questions out there. Put them in the comments. And we will respond. We'll try our best to
we'll respond.
Yeah. I think we're easily accessible on all. I am on all social media. You can find my phone number everywhere. I'll even have a phone call if you have a question about this stuff. Like, subscribe, follow, and comment. And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. We will. Yeah.